It's not coffee. We're going to throw you for a little bit of a loop today here on Aromacup.com. We're going to be talking about the Sodastream Revolution home soda maker from Sodastream. We're giving the producer one right now. He's got to have something. This is the energy one too, so I hope that helps you. Keeps him awake. Hi everyone, I'm Brian with Aromacup.com. Thanks as always for joining me here in my virtual coffee shop brought to you by Aromacup.com. Now today I'm running sort of virtual soda shop, as it were, and that's because I'm talking about the Sodastream Revolution by Sodastream. Now you may have heard of Sodastream before. They've actually been around for quite some time and have re-emerged a little bit more lately, and this machine is for making soda at home. So it is still in the vein of many of the things that we talk about here on Aromacup.com, which is single serve ease, convenience, all at home. So we're going to talk about what's in the box for the Sodastream Revolution, what you get, and then we'll talk about how to use it and all the stuff that you want to know. Let's dive in first and show you what's in the box. What's in the box with the Sodastream Revolution? Well, first of all, you're going to have your Sodastream Revolution soda maker. I've already attached the carbonation bottle to the machine, so I'm just going to turn it here to show it to you. But this tank is what holds the CO2 gas that is used to actually carbonate the water from the machine. That is separate. It does come with the machine. It's rated for about 60 liters worth of liquid. You're also going to get one 1-liter bottle with your Sodastream. You can get more bottles if you would like, if you want to add more. You'll have your instruction booklet, of course, which is pretty in-depth, I will say, but a lot of this is different languages. And then finally, you'll get a sampler pack of some sample soda flavors that you can use to just try out the different flavors with your Sodastream. Get to know maybe what you like, and then you can go out and buy more. That's everything that's in the box. Let's talk about how the Sodastream works and how you can use the Revolution to make your own soda at home. Firstly, let me show you the buttons and the kind of overall operation of the Revolution. It's really simple. The machine itself, as you can see, has this sort of large mouth right here and a drip tray at the bottom. Right here, you're going to find this sort of lever action bottle receptacle. Now this is where your bottle is going to connect for when you're going to add fizz to the water that you put in your bottle. This little white spigot coming down here is what actually shoots the CO2 into your water. And you see the machine started glowing blue as soon as I moved that. The face of the machine is really basic beyond that. You have 4 buttons on the face, and going from left all the way to the right, this is the least amount of fizz and the most fizz or the most carbonation you can add to your water. So it's really straightforward. And then you have this little screen right here. This will show you how much CO2 is left in your CO2 tank, and then it just kind of gives you a little animated icon of a bottle being fizzed. So it's not honestly something you really need to pay attention to, and you notice the machine turns itself off pretty quickly. It only uses one very small AC adapter to power itself, so it's pretty low energy usage. It's going to fit on most countertops pretty easily. It's a little tall, but the controls itself, very, very straightforward. Let's talk about how you can use the Sodastream using those controls that I just talked about. Using the Revolution is really easy. As I say, the machine comes with a 1-liter bottle. Now, this bottle is it's BPA-free, and the cool thing about this is that you're not going to be throwing away a bunch of plastic bottles after you've used them. You're going to reuse the bottle. I'm going to take the lid off. We've filled this with just some natural, just cold water. Sodastream does say that you should fill the bottle with water, put it in your fridge, get the water cold. It's a rather large mouth bottle, and the lid is pretty large as well. And that's because it's made to keep the carbonation in the bottle. And that's pretty cool because I don't know if you've had the same issue that I've had, but I find that a bottle of soda doesn't stay fizzy for very long. So let's show you how you use it. You have to use these bottles, and that's because, again, they're designed specifically to work with your Sodastream. I imagine you could try using a different one. I don't think you would have very good results. It's really easy to do. We're going to flip this lever forward. The machine is going to turn itself on. Now I'm just simply going to take the bottle, I'm going to insert it up until it stops, and then just press backwards. This locks the bottle in. It's actually locked. I can't move it down now. Now I just need to choose the level of carbonation that I want to do. I'm going to go somewhere in the middle and just go for the second from the left and press that button. And there you go. We're adding carbonation to the water right now. And we're done. That last little sort of blast is kind of the cool part, because that's where you see all the bubbles happen, which I think is pretty cool. And so now you can see we have just standard carbonated water. You could drink this if you wanted, you could add another flavor to it, but we're going to add one of the sample flavors that we have right here from the Sodastream Revolution kit. Now, this is just one flavor. This is the energy flavor. We're going to do a whole other video talking to you about all the different ways that you can make soda with Sodastream machines and the different flavors that you can use and the different sort of ways that you can make a lot of that. Those drinks that you're going to be making at home. So we're going to add the flavor. Now you need to add the flavor after you've done the fizzing. Don't add the flavor before. I've tried it. It didn't exactly give me bad results, but I'll just say that I trust Sodastream when they say add the flavor after you've carbonated the water. Now, quick note, you don't want to just fire all this flavor into the water. If you do, it's gonna explode. You're gonna get bubbles everywhere and water everywhere. Just take your time and kind of add it. Now, this sample flavor that I have right here says it's good for 1 liter, which is what I have with this bottle. You don't necessarily have to use all of that. And in fact, I'm gonna hold off maybe a little bit and not use all of it, because that might be a little bit strong. But you can adjust to find the flavor that you like. After that, put the lid on, turn it tight, and then just kind of give the bottle a little bit of a turn. You just need to do this a few times. This mixes up all of the flavor into the water. And open it up. And one thing I like is that you would think that this would explode as the way that soda bottles usually do, and I never had one explode on me, even after I've left it sitting for quite some time. After that, of course, pour it into a glass or drink it straight from the bottle, and you've got soda. Anyway, as you can see, it's very easy to use this machine. And I have to say that the flavor of the beverages has been pretty impressive. I've tried a lot of different flavors. I do think that most of them are pretty good. Some might not be necessarily for you, but of course that's where you get to try using these sampler packs and things like that. Let's talk about pricing on the Sodastream Revolution. You're looking at about $179.99, which is not a bad price, I think, for the machine and everything that it does, and the fact that everything comes in the box ready to go. Now, if you do want to find the best place to buy a Sodastream Revolution and other Sodastream products, you'll want to check the link in the description of our video right here. We'll point you in the right direction. What's my bottom line on the Sodastream Revolution? I think it's a pretty cool little peripheral to add to your own kitchen at home. If you really like soda, I would suggest checking something like this out because for a number of different reasons. The first one is that all of the flavorings for the Sodastream machines don't use aspartame or high fructose corn syrup. So they only use natural sweeteners, which I think is really great because obviously if you're going to have something sweet, it should not be nothing but chemicals, and that's what high fructose corn syrup is, that's what aspartame is. That's no good. So that's one reason. The other reason is that you're going to save money, obviously, because if you're not buying everything and just simply throwing it away, if you have a machine that you can reuse and the investment is relatively low, you're not going to spend a whole bunch of money. That's pretty good as well. Finally, the other reason I think that the Sodastream is pretty cool is simply because it's going to reduce waste. It's going to reduce plastic waste. Plastic bottles account for a huge amount of waste in landfills every single day, and all of that plastic could be used for something else in a better way instead of just being thrown away. And so you're going to be nice to the earth, you're going to be nice to your wallet, and hopefully you're going to be nice to yourself because you're going to like what it is that you're drinking. So my bottom line is it's a very cool tool to add to your kitchen. There are different types of Sodastream machines as well. As I say, the Revolution is on the high end. It's a little pricier. You can get a lower price machine with a little less bells and whistles and get into making your own soda at home. So Hope you guys found this useful, and as I say, check out our other videos. We're going to talk about flavors and recipes using the Sodastream and show you everything you can do to get the most out of your Sodastream machine in your kitchen at home. As always, guys, I'm Brian with Aromacup.com. I want to thank you for joining me here in my virtual soda shop, brought to you by Aromacup.com, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bleh. I jumped into it. I was close. Yes, okay, the train of thought is there now. All right, now we're good. It's the energy drink, that's right. Jeez, I tell ya, God.